Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jayla and Happy New Year. So I have my cranberry juice for the new year, and I have some things that I wanted to talk about for making sure that this year is going to be the best year for you. And I know that every year people always say, new year, new me, I'm gonna have all these aspirations and I have all these goals, the things that I want to do in the new year, but it never actually gets done. And I feel like this year we need to be intentional. We need to actually plan things. We need to actually follow through with what we want if we want to get anything out of life. So I have a list of a few things that I wanted to go over that I feel like I personally am going to be trying to do for the new year to make myself be set up for success. It's so good. I love cranberry juice. This is cranberry apple juice, and I've thought about like making a drink, but I'm like, I'm still like fighting my cold a little bit, and I don't really, just not in the mood, you know? I love myself a good glass of juice, so this is good enough for me. It still feels celebratory. I have Peachy Girl here with me today. She's laying right here next to me sleeping. I'll show you guys like a little clip right here. But she's so sweet. She's been so tired today. I think it's because it's been raining so much lately and it's been so gray and gloomy outside. I definitely feel it too. So one of the first things that I have on my list and that I already kind of mentioned is to be intentional. When you have a goal, you need to make sure that you know exactly what it is that you are trying to achieve within that goal and why. If it's something that you're not truly passionate about, if it's something that you don't truly want, it's not going to happen. And you need to be intentional of how you go about trying to reach that goal. So, say if you want to eat better in the new year, you want to stop eating out so much, you want to start cooking more at home, then you need to be intentional about, for say, how you grocery shop. Do you have a list already set up of things that you need to get, recipes already picked out that you know are going to be healthy, that you know are going to be good for you? Or are you just going into the grocery store while you're hungry, picking out whatever snacks you see, you bring it home, and then that's what you eat? Well, you got to start from the very beginning. What kind of foods do you like? For me, I love looking up recipes on Pinterest and saving them for a rainy day. I love that because even when I am in a jam and I need something that I want to make for dinner, I can always pull up my Pinterest, try to find a recipe that I already have saved, and just get some of those ingredients that are on the list that I know I need. With trying to eat better, when you have certain foods available to you, it's going to make things a lot harder to reach that goal if you have things that are easily accessible. You need to make sure that you have foods in your home that are going to go along with the lifestyle that you want to be living in the new year. Also, try to make it fun. Cooking is so enjoyable for me. You put on a little music, put on your favorite show, put on a podcast, anything that you can do to make it a little bit better for you, an audiobook, anything that makes you have a spark of joy to where it feels like it's not a chore to have to be doing this. So for my next one, I have self-belief, and I feel like this is probably the number one thing on the list. The number one thing that you're gonna hear is you need to believe in yourself first and foremost. No one else is going to have that same kind of fire in their belly as you should for yourself. If you don't think that you can do it, why would you ever expect someone else to think that you can do it? You have to have that self-belief. You have to believe in yourself and know that you got this. It may be hard. You might fail a lot of times. It might not come as easily as you think it will. It might not come as fast as you think it will, but that doesn't mean you're not going to achieve it. And you just have to know within yourself that you got this and that there's no other option but to succeed. So for my next one on my list, I have learn how to rest. I know for me, this is definitely something I'm going to be working on a lot, is to know when to take a break, know how to take a break, but still make it productive. Peach is scratching herself and shaking everything. But learn how to take a break. Learn that, I feel like when we come up with these resolutions and these goals, we feel like we gotta come out the gates running and we gotta get there and we gotta get there fast. And although that might be true and that's good to start off really strong, know that also you're gonna have time periods throughout the year where you're not gonna wanna go to the gym, you're not gonna wanna eat healthy, you're not gonna keep trying to create. It's just gonna get hard. You're gonna have those days where you just don't feel like it. Not even days, weeks, months. I know I've had it personally, and I know that it happens for everybody out there where you just don't want to do something even though you really want the result of what that gives you. And learning how to rest is going to help you out so much more in the long run. Instead of beating yourself up for taking a day off or taking a week off, know in your heart that once you have that break, you're going to get back into it. But sometimes you just need a rest. You just have to reset your body, recharge, and rethink about why you want this goal and re-fire up. I feel like during the new year, we have so much motivation, we have so much adrenaline to get going, make ourselves better, and we lose that throughout the year. If we're not achieving what we want to in a certain time period that we think we should be, we start to feel discouraged. And you can't let that happen or you won't get to the end goal. So for the next one, I have to stop procrastinating. This is something that I feel like I definitely struggle with. There are things that I know I need to get done, and I do get them done, but I get them done at a time where I feel like it's not as productive and I could have got it done earlier and I had the time to do it, but I just didn't feel like it. And I feel like we can be so much more effective with our time if we really plan it out. For me, I feel like setting up a schedule, whether it's a daily, weekly, monthly, something that you can follow along, that'll help you have a deadline. And I know that deadlines can be super scary and it doesn't have to be a daunting thing, but just something to try to help you stay accountable of where you want to be in your timeline for your goals. I'm an artist, so say that I want to work on a certain painting. I know that this painting is going to probably take me at least a month or two to actually complete fully, if not longer. Every week, I'm going to set aside a certain amount of hours for how much time I'm going to give to this goal. I'm going to work for 2 hours a week. I'm going to set aside 2 hours a week to work on painting. Every week, I need to hold myself accountable and do those 2 hours. Doesn't matter how I spread it out throughout the week, but I need to get those 2 hours. So, setting up something that can help you have a timeline and a visual timeline, also, at least for me, that really helps me out to stay organized and stay on track. So, I can avoid going through a month, seeing that I got nothing done, and not wonder how did that happen. It helps you know what's working, what's not working. Say I do the 2 hours a week for a month and I still feel like I'm falling behind. For the next month, I can up it up to, let's say, 2.5 hours, 3 hours a week. That'll help me out to know better for the future what I personally need to do. So, for my next one, I have to don't get discouraged. I know that it's really hard sometimes to stick to your goals and stick to resolutions. And you don't want to fall into the curse of not reaching your resolution and only going after it for like a month and then giving up. Going to be days where you're going to fall short, where you're going to fail, where you're not going to meet a certain goal that you wanted to, where you're going to slip up, and you have to learn how to continue to pick yourself up every single time and keep going forward. You have to keep reminding yourself, why do I want this goal in the first place? Because if you don't even know why you want something, how do you expect yourself to achieve it? You have to feel it in your heart, feel it in your soul that this is what you want for yourself. This is the person that you want to become. You won't become it if you're not consistent with yourself and if you just keep falling back. So for my next one, I feel like this one really goes into not being discouraged, but nothing changes if nothing changes. And I feel like this is a really pivotal one because I used to be so scared of change. It used to make me so anxious to think about things changing. The things that you've done in the past hasn't worked out. So it'd be ludicrous to think that if you continue to keep doing it that you're going to get a different result. That's just madness, and it doesn't make any sense, quite frankly. If you want to become something, you need to really embody that. In life, there's so many stages, and to get to a different stage, things have to change. Nature is all about change, and we're a part of nature. And if you go against that biological need inside of you to be changing, to try different things, to try different avenues, meet new people, go new places, you're only holding yourself back from what you can truly be accomplishing in life. For my next point, I have you are the maker of your own destiny. And I know this might sound a little cheesy, but I really believe in this wholeheartedly. I really think that if you want something out of life, you're capable of making that happen. I know that I can be like this sometimes, and I know I've been like this in the past before, and I see other people do it too, that you can't be a victim to your own life. This is your life. If you want it to be a certain way, you have to make it that way. We only get one life. We're only going to be here for so long, and we all are going to meet our end at some point. It sounds really dark, but honestly, that should be your motivation. If you want something out of life, just go get it. I know I'm making it sound to be really easy. I know it's an extremely hard thing to do, to really reach goals and to reach your dream life, but it can happen. Miracles happen all the time. People reach their goals and have their dreams become a reality every day. Why do you think that you are not special enough to reach your goals as well? For my next point, I have a clear vision of what you want to become and start to embody it. So for me, in the beginning of 2024, I really wanted to start ballet. And the reason for this is when I was growing up as a little kid, I loved ballet so much. I was so obsessed with it. I would watch videos on ballet. I would watch cartoons about ballet. I had like a little plastic ballet bar and a little ballet outfit that I would like practice with. And my parents couldn't afford to take me to ballet classes growing up, but I loved it so much, and it just made me feel so free. And I really lost sight of that growing up, and I never revisited that part of myself until last year. And it's changed me so much, and so much for the better. It's changed my body, it's changed how I think about life and how I think about myself. And even before I started my ballet classes in the beginning of 2024, I started getting together what kind of gear do I want when I take my ballet classes? What do I want to wear? What do I need? What kind of knowledge do I need to know before going into a ballet class? Where do I want to take my classes at? What kind of teacher do I think would be best for me? And I found a studio that I absolutely love, a teacher that I absolutely love, and I've been there ever since, still going strong a year later. And I'm so excited to be able to do my first class of 2025 next week. I feel like when you go into something, it makes the experience so much more fun if you have the vision of what you want to be when you're in this goal. For me, I had a vision of how I wanted to embody being a ballerina. Before the year even started, I started to gather things, gather information, gather any kind of physical materials that I needed to make that vision a reality. By the time the new year hit, I had my class, I signed up for my class, had it scheduled and everything, and the first week of 2024, I had my first ballet class, and it was amazing. I was ready, I was set up, I knew what I wanted, I had a clear vision, and even if you're just now starting, there's still time, don't worry about it. Just because suddenly it's a new year doesn't mean that you can't set up a timeline and set up a goal. Even if you don't start on your goals right away, that doesn't mean you won't start ever. Another thing I would do is also listen to ballet music in my car on the way to work. I would get myself into the zone and I would be embodying what I think of a ballerina. I think of grace, I think of strength, I think of fortitude, and it made such a difference in how I viewed myself. You know, I never thought that I would be able to be a ballerina, even though I'm still very much a beginner and I started so late in life. It's not like this is something that has to be a career. It's not like this is something that has to be my profession. It's just something that I love, a hobby that I love to have, and something that really helps my mental health and has changed me physically so much. I've become so much stronger, so much more toned. I not really a gym girl, so this has definitely become something that is outside the box, but something that I've always wanted to do, and it's helped me in so many more ways than I ever thought it could. So this one goes into one that I spoke on earlier, but stop doing things that don't work. If you know that something isn't for you, if you feel it in your spirit that this is not something for you, something isn't working out for you, if you're doing a form of workout that you know you hate, try something else. There's so many different avenues to go down. Do some research and really try to figure out what fits you, because something that fits someone else doesn't mean that it's going to fit you. For my last one, I have what do you want to leave behind? What do you want to leave behind in 2024? What do you want to forget about? What do you want to shove in the closet and never revisit it ever again? I know for me, something that I want to leave behind is self-doubt and negative self-talk. That is probably going to be one of my biggest things that I'm going to work on in 2025, is to really get into affirmations, really getting into appreciating and loving myself on a deeper level and having a real connection with myself. So you guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I get to see you guys again in another video. I hope you have a wonderful new year, and I know that anything that you want to achieve, that you can make it happen. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, you guys. Okay, you guys, so I just wanted to show you PG for a second. She's been snoring this whole time. I don't know if you can hear her or not. She's knocked out. My gosh. You're sweet little Peachy. She's so tired. Hi, baby. Hi, Peachy. Oh, my goodness. My sleepy girl. Happy New Year, you guys.